What's up, everyone? Britannic Panic here. For our very first YouTube video, we're going fishing today at a heavily pressured pond. I've done a live stream here before, so I'm hoping today we can get something going. Caught one fish here on a chatterbait. So today it's a little colder. It's very, very foggy and overcast. So I'm hoping a little topwater action. If not, we're gonna go a little bit of spinnerbait, a little bit of jerkbait, a little jigging. We're gonna give it a shot. So I've got 3 of my rods already hooked up. We got ourselves a topwater spinnerbait flyover rod by Eagle Claw. It is a fast action medium heavy, or sorry, moderate fast action medium heavy with a Casking Spartacus 2 and a Berkeley Chopo. I believe that's a 90 size Berkeley Chopo. Yep, 90 size Berkeley Chopo. And then I have a Bass Pro Shop tungsten jig with an Excite trailer on it. It's a green pumpkin watermelon color, and then like a watermelon gold black flake trailer on there by Excite Baits on a Skeet Reese Eagle Claw jig worm rod with an Ozark Trails baitcaster on it. And then I have a Bass Pro Shops jerkbait hooked up on a flyover rod by Eagle Claw as well. On it, it's a Viking Nico specific, but you can use it for just about anything. It is also a fast action medium rod with a Spartacus 2 spinning reel. So we're gonna get this started and see how things go. I'll see y'all in a minute. All right, we are pulling up to spot number 1. There's quite a few people fishing here today, so we'll see how this goes. Like I said, this is a pretty heavily pressured place. During the summertime at lunch, all the businesses around here, a lot of the people come fishing during lunchtime. So it gets pretty busy. I honestly didn't think there were this many people here today, but I think since it's foggy and overcast, I think there's just gonna be a lot of people out. Probably hoping the same thing as I am, getting that topwater bite in. Though a lot of them seem to be fishing with bait and bobber, so they're probably going for panfish or catfish, which there's just about every kind of fish you'd want in this pond. Will say that's one thing about the whopper flopper baits I'm not a fan of, is they tend to roll a lot. Which, speaking of which, there was actually just a little bit of a blow up right next to me, but I think it was just a little panfish. I don't think it was anything big. Alright, I'm gonna keep casting. I'll see y'all in a minute. Alright, rolling up here is spot number 2. Same pond, just spot number 2. Didn't go super far, so we're actually at that dock and came around, but we weren't getting anything. I did see a turtle pop its head up, so I'm hoping I don't catch that. I would rather not catch a turtle. Still going with the old Berkeley Chopo. It is still pretty overcast, so I'm just hoping something wants the old Berkeley Chopo. Okay. Trying to just follow the edge as best as I can to see if I can entice anything to come up. But nothing yet. I'll slow her down there at the end, maybe. See what happens. Trying to slow roll it. I want to make a little noise, but I don't want to make a lot of noise since the water's still pretty cold. Not much is active right now, so I'm just trying to entice and slow up, maybe cause a strike. I will see y'all at the next stop. Okay, we're at spot number 3, or stop number 3. I saw a blow up over here, and it seemed bigger than a bluegill. Of course, I have seen some pretty good sized bluegill in this pond, so I'm gonna see what I can grab. This bank kind of sucks. That's all right, we'll make it work. I'm gonna try this out here. And this is like a matte shad color, if I remember correctly, on this Chapo. So I might end up switching to like a bone color. I don't own one yet, but I will probably end up buying one. And seeing if that helps with the old Chapo. Because I don't think there's any shad in this pond. I don't think they make a bluegill color in the Chapo. And I just prefer Chapo over the river to sea. It flips a little less than, oh, I just noticed there's a catfish that's up on the bank. More than likely something got to it, a little herring or something. Because I don't think, no, I see a cut on its side. So I think a bird got to that one, just decided not to eat it. There are catfish in here. Not many, but there are a few. But believe it or not, the hardest thing to catch in this pond, bass. Bass are so hard to catch in this pond. I'm hoping I'll get something to bite though. I'm trying to mostly make it over into this back area and across. So I've not fished over there or over here. I've fished around that side of the bend before. So just going around that way, but I've not fished over here yet. So I'm trying to kind of get to new spots to try new things, but we'll see what happens. Well, no luck yet. I'm trying to do a little bit of a fan cast just to see, well, just see, cover as much water as I can. I tell you what, it's gorgeous out here today though. We've had some very odd weather patterns where I live lately. I mean, around Christmas, it was 70 degrees. And unfortunately, I didn't have an SD card for the GoPro. I just got it for when I went fishing the Friday after Christmas. But I caught 6 fish that day out on the lake. And let me tell you, that was a lot of fun. Caught my first fish on a spinner bait. Caught my first fish on a Ned rig. So I'm very new to bass fishing. So I grew up panfish fishing and trout fishing. I didn't catch my first bass until I think I was 8, and I didn't even hook the bass. I caught it on a perch. I had caught a, oh, I say perch. I call them perch where I'm from, but bluegill. But I had caught a bluegill, and I hadn't caught much that day, so I was just kind of playing around with it. Didn't want to lift the bluegill out of the water yet. And next thing I know, I see this giant shadow come up out of nowhere. Mind you, I was fishing on Table Rock Lake because that's where I grew up as a kid. And I was on a dock, so it was probably 50 feet to the bottom from where I was at on this dock. And this giant shadow come up out of nowhere and engulfed like 3/4 of my bluegill, because this is a good sized bluegill. And I pulled this thing out. It was the biggest fish I'd ever seen. It was a Kentucky smallmouth is what we call them where I was at. I don't technically know the legit type of smallmouth it was, but we call them Kentucky smallmouth. And man, it was huge. I think it was 6.5 pounds. It was insane. I had a little Zebco 33 spin cast rod and reel combo from Walmart. And let me tell you, that was awesome. That kind of got me hooked on bass fishing when I was a kid. And I kid you not, I went gung-ho. I thought I knew everything about bass fishing. And I went and bought a rattle trap to throw on my little spin cast rod. And I can tell you now, I did not know how to tie actual fishing knots to them. I still don't know a lot about them, but I think I was just doing overhanded knots. And I lost that thing in like 3 casts. Like, it went flying off. And then from then on, I really kind of got out of touch with bass fishing, because my dad didn't like bass fishing. He preferred crappie. So that's all we did as a kid. We just crappie fished. And so I went right back to crappie fishing until I got into high school, and kind of band kind of took up my time, and a bunch of other extracurriculars. And then I went to college, and when I went to college, there really wasn't anyone around that fished, so I kind of got out of touch with fishing for a long time. And then I met my fiance, and I got back into fishing heavy. And I always wanted to do YouTube, especially fishing YouTube, for the longest time. As soon as I knew what YouTube really was, I wanted to start getting into fishing YouTube. And she kind of helped me build up that fire to get back into fishing in general. So now, here I am, starting my first fishing YouTube. That's not going to be a good spot. Hold on. I'm not going to actually, well, I'll retrieve it from here. Maybe. Nope, we're still in the bush. There we go. Oh, we got little ponds coming on us anyways. But yeah, so now we're starting the YouTube journey. Well, I am excited. I hope y'all enjoy. Like, share, and subscribe if y'all would. It would help me out a lot. If you guys aren't super interested in the fishing side of things, I also do Twitch. And that's actually how I started all this. Was on Twitch. I did a few fishing live streams. It had a lot of good response, and with the push of my beautiful fiance, I decided I'm going to go for that dream of YouTube. So here we are. But yeah, go follow the Twitch. It's Britannic Panic, BRYTANIC Panic, and you'll watch me do some actual fishing video games. We do Phasmophobia. What else do we do? Minecraft, all kinds of fun stuff. So, and then here on YouTube, you'll see a few VODs here on YouTube from that stuff too. So, but come and enjoy the fun of fishing with me on the YouTube page. All right, I'm going to continue on down and see what else we find. I just saw it blow up a little ways down, so I will see you all at stop number 3 or 4. Stop number 4. All right, we're at stop number 4. We didn't go very far because I started seeing some stuff blow up, but you can see there's a little dam over here, and I'm gonna have to walk literally all the way around to get to that backside to get over here. So we'll have a little bit of a journey. There's some bulls popping up. There's one right there. There was a couple over here. So it looks like there's some fish hanging out over here. So I'm gonna see if I can get some top water. That sun's starting to come out, so I doubt I'll get any top water. Also, I don't know if you'll be able to see it on the GoPro or not, but right there is a little panfish structure. So they've definitely got some little structures down in here, little fish attractors. So hopefully that means the panfish are over here, which means the bass are over here too. I'm gonna kind of back away from this tree a little bit so I have a little casting room. The wind's also calmed down over on this side. It's very calm water over here. Man, I really thought for sure something would have hit this. I just saw another fish over there blow up. There's a lot of things blowing up on top of the water. I'm just hoping they're hungry enough to eat this old Chapo. And if I didn't just absolutely backlash myself. I'm still getting used to a bait caster. This is only my second ever bait caster. I grew up on a spinning rod, so the bait caster is still very, very new to me. Let's kind of walk a little further down, try that out. I'm also not used to having the GoPro on my chest, so I'm sorry if I keep hitting y'all. I'm trying my best to almost make it to the other bank and then just bring it on down from there. Might switch baits. I might not move from the spot just yet. I think we're just gonna switch. I'm gonna switch the old jerk bait. Now I'm not a giant fan of this jerk bait. I've tried it, and it's just a regular Bass Pro Shops jerk bait. It's not the, I think the XPS stare down, I think is what they call it. This is just a regular old cheap Bass Pro Shops jerk bait. So it's nothing special. I just don't like it floats too much for my taste. I wish it would sink a little more. And like I said, I'm running this on a spinning rod. I like it on a spinning rod. I have never really ran a jerkbait before, and until recently. And my fiance's dad was the one that showed me how to do his jerkbait on a spinning setup, and I have to say I quite like it. Oop, I didn't tighten that up. I have to tighten that. I have to loosen that up so I can fit it into my little closet I keep it in. So I can't like do very long pauses because it'll rise to the surface too fast. So that's my thing. I wish it was more, it would suspend more versus floating, because it floats fast. See, like, see how it pops up so fast? It's got a good wobble to it though if you just slow roll it. It's way too wide of a wobble for this time of year, but it does got a good wobble to it. All right, y'all, so I tried the jerk bait for a little bit, tried the old football head for a little bit, nothing. So sun's coming out. I'm gonna switch off the old top water and we're gonna stick on a spinning or a spinner bait. So I'm gonna dig in the old Evolution Fishing largemouth bag, if I remember right. That's what it's called. I think if I remember right, Tyler's Real Fishing helped set it up. There's a little peek in the old bag there. I remember right, he's the one that set it up, or kind of helped manufacture it. So I got the old spinner bait here with a, I believe it's a, I think I got the same thing. So my father-in-law got me this. It's a Jimmy Houston spinner bait. I believe I found the same trailer he put on it, and that is, if I can find it, hold on, Beef Fishing Authentics ringworm. So I wasn't sure what color he got, and I didn't get the exact color, but I got something close. So I got the Firecracker chartreuse tail. I think he got like a, I don't remember. I remember seeing this one online, but I couldn't remember if this was the one he had put on there. But it's same thing as this. It's a clear ringworm with chartreuse tail, but it's got black, gold, and orange instead of silver, red, and blue. So we're gonna get this a shot and stick it on there. Of course, white head, white skirt, Jimmy Houston special. I think, if I remember right, it is made by Lucky Craft. Not Lucky Craft, wrong company, Lucky Strike. Which actually, Lucky Strike lures used to be made near my town, hometown. So we're gonna give this a shot.
Are you fishing or catching?
Fishing. If it was catching, everyone would do it. Okay, I'm gonna pack up and I will see you all on the other side of the pond. All right, we are hitting our next spot. So, recap. We came from all the way over there at the parking lot, all the way around to that dock straight across. Then came all the way around, stopped a couple times in between, stopped right there, fished in that little area. Then I had to walk all the way around to the nature reserve, all the way through here until I came out there. Now we're walking down to this little point. So we're gonna fish from here all the way over, which I have not fished this side of any of it. Last time I was here and I caught something, it was over there and it was on a chatterbait. I think it was like a 2.5 pounder largemouth. It was gorgeous. First fish I'd ever caught here too. First fish I've seen caught here with my own eyes too. I've seen quite a few people fishing here, but never seen someone actually catch anything. Oh, it looks a little deeper on this end too. Pond is a little murky. So let's try this out here. Let's try the old spinner bait first. Slow roll it. Okay, nothing on that one. And I'll tell you what, even if you don't catch anything, who doesn't love just getting in the outdoors and going fishing? It is so nice. All right, y'all. So try a little jerk baiting, and nothing. I found out most of this little area over here, I haven't gone far that way. Most of this area over here is super shallow, it's super scummy. So I'm gonna change up the presentation. I literally couldn't get this or the spinner bait back without absolutely being just covered in scum. So I want to change up presentation a little bit. I'm not gonna go with the football head jig over here. I'm gonna go for a Ned rig. And I have got another newer bait that I am excited to try. So I've never really used scented baits other than like Strike Kings coffee tubes. Yeah, I've used these before, but other than that I don't use a lot of like quote unquote truly like scented baits. Like all Strike King stuff's like coffee flavored, but or coffee scented. I mostly just use unscented baits, but I got some new baits in that I'm excited to try. So I'm gonna try out the Berkley Power Bait Max Scent Little Trooper on the old Ned rig. But then I also got some, where are they at? There they are. Berkley Power Bait Max Scent Flux Gill in bluegill color. And I think that's gonna go great on an old Texas rig. So it shows like Texas rig, Carolina rig, jig head, drop shots, wacky rig. That might be a good wacky rig. I've heard if you get the smaller ones, which my Bass Pro did on the smaller ones whenever I was ordering things, that it's good on a shaky head. So I'm gonna try it on a shaky head or even a wobble head or an EWG like football head. So I'm gonna probably try Texas rigging these at some point, probably not here. They're a little bigger than I want for here. We're gonna downsize these little troopers on a Ned rig. Guys, I hope you're enjoying the video. If you are, please give me a like, share, and subscribe. It would help me out so much so we can keep doing stuff like this. Like I said, and if you're more interested in the video game side of things, go follow me on Twitch, Britannic Panic. No, well, yeah. Just got stuck in a little scum. Oh. Darn it. That is definitely not a fish. I don't know what I got stuck on. I got stuck on something. Oh, there we go. I got it out though. The water is very, very murky right in this area, so it's really hard to see. So honestly, there could have been one of those little bluegill structures over there too. And it's starting to pick up from the west. Started this morning, we were getting a southeasterly wind. Now we're getting a northwesterly. Honestly, I'm gonna try slow rolling this. Maybe if I slow roll, that'll help. Doesn't have much action. It does kind of like flutter through the water. And it could just be how I have it rigged. But maybe that little flutter through the water will look enough like a small crawfish that something would be like, ooh, give me that. I want to smash that. Hoping some kind of fish out here is hungry for lunch. Oh, I just landed next to something that blew up. I'd be fine if we went bluegill decided to take a smack at this thing. A couple hard pops. Alright, y'all. I tried the old Ned rig for a bit, and we're going to change it up. I talked to a couple people earlier, and a lot of them said they've been smashing some lately on an old chatterbait. So, I think we're going to try the old same thing. And I've got two different chatterbaits we're going to try. So, oops. We got the big old chatterbait. Bugs. I don't like bugs. We got the old green pumpkin, purple flake chatterbait with the gold blade and the old green pumpkin rage tail craw on there. I have caught bass at this particular place on this one before. I think it was the last time I was here. And where did I put that new one? I have a new chatterbait though. So this one is going to go on the old jig rod. Yeah. I'll tell you what, that's got some thump to it. I heard the jackhammer is better. I need to try a jackhammer. I don't want to spend the money on a jackhammer. Alright, y'all, that's gonna be it for today. Unfortunately, we got skunked, but I'm not necessarily surprised. This place is extremely pressured, extremely hard to catch a fish in. I mean, even the guys that are going catfishing, which are a lot easier to catch in this pond, are skunking today. So I did get a tip on a good place to go next time, so we'll try that out. It's a place I'm honestly kind of surprised by. I've been there before, didn't see much there, but I guess it's kind of changed since the last time I was there. We'll give it a try though. We'll try it out. But I hope you guys enjoyed. Guys, smash that like button, subscribe, comment, share. I appreciate you guys. I'll see you next time. Bye.